Awesome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. This is the lecture over disorders of the eye. There are a number of things that can happen with the anatomy of the eye, and most of it has to do with our ability to get the image into our eye, okay? And that, of course, is the idea of refraction, that the light is going to enter our eye and shine on the retina as we need it to, okay? So the first thing that you should look at and understand is this idea of an astigmatism, okay? Astigmatism is an uneven curvature of the cornea. So please remember what the cornea is. If I do this, remember the cornea is the clear part at the front of your eye. It is going to be the part that will have, it'll be the part of your eye that has the aqueous humor behind it. And right down here, we see the cornea here. And then, of course, the aqueous humor would be that green fluid that's there, okay? So when you have an uneven curvature of your cornea, what happens is when you look at something, you see a bend in things that normally don't have a bend, okay? Because your cornea has a wavelength. So think about the whole idea if you have a glass of water, right? If you have a glass of water and you put a straw in it, the straw doesn't look like it sticks straight up, right? You would have a glass of water and then the straw has this little jog in it because of the way the water bends the light. So if your cornea has that uneven curvature, it is going to cause things to bend. And again, windows don't normally bend unless you're at Disneyland. And well, we understand that, I hope. So an astigmatism can be corrected with corrective lenses. I believe also LASIK surgery these days can help with that. But it is something that can be detrimental to your ability to drive or, do really important tasks. Like if you were maybe a surgeon or something like that, you might want to have those corrective lenses to make sure that you can actually see what you need to see. Okay, myopia is nearsightedness. When we say nearsighted and farsighted, I always remember that nearsighted means that we can see near. Farsighted means we can see far. So if you're nearsighted, that means that you have trouble focusing on things that are far away. So when we say that the eyeball is too long, I want you to look at this diagram here because this diagram is pretty good in showing us what we want to see. So first of all, we're looking at myopia. So let's look at myopia, okay? And this right here is a normal eyeball. So the light comes into the eye, it goes through the accommodation process of having that light bend to end directly at the back of the eye, right on the retina with perfect clarity, okay? Now the myopic eye, the lens is not able to bend the light correctly to reach the back of the eye. Okay, and where that focal point hits is inside of the eye, in front of the retina. Thus, we say the eyeball is too long. Okay, now nobody's eyeball is too long. Your eyeballs are your eyeballs, and if you have an eyeball that needs glasses because you're nearsighted, well, then so be it. But in the concept of where the projected image is in focus, it is not at the place of the retina where it needs to be for normal vision. Okay, so myopia, nearsightedness, that means you can see things near, you have trouble seeing things far. Again, it can be fixed with corrective lenses. Okay, and then hyperopia is the opposite idea that your eyeball is too short. Okay, and again, it can be fixed with corrective lenses. Here is our hyperopic eye, and that hyperopic eye, you'll notice the light comes in, and where it's focused would be behind where the sclera cuts this eye off already, okay? So we're gonna call this one too short, and we're gonna call this one too long. But of course you understand nowadays, or you understand after this conversation, that nobody's eyes are too long or too short. It's just the way we refer to it to make sure that you understand what it is that we're talking about, okay? So here's how corrective lenses are gonna fix that. The lens is either going to bend the light out, or the corrective lens is going to bend the light in, all right? So that is how we correct those issues with corrective lenses. Okay, presbyopia is what is known as old age. The ciliary muscles lose their power because the lens becomes less flexible and the ciliary muscles are less powerful, okay? So what does that mean? That means the person becomes farsighted. Without my glasses, I can see fine far away. I just can't read anything up close. So presbyopia is the idea that at 40, you're gonna need reading glasses. Now I made it to 44. Some people make it their whole lives. Some people need glasses really early in life. It really depends on who you are, your genetics, and also we have great medical care. Glasses are more affordable now than they've ever been, which is a huge benefit, especially to all the school children out there that need them. Okay, so if you need glasses, if you don't see well, it might be hard to get an education. So I want you to know that we have services on campus. We have services in Orange County to help people that have financial troubles to get glasses. So please reach out to me and let me know if you need glasses and don't have them. If you have really scratched lenses and need new lenses, please reach out. In one of my classes a long time ago, there was a student that had glasses, and when I looked at them, they seemed cloudy. So I was like, oh my goodness, can I wash your glasses? Which is a thing of my past. I always washed my dad's glasses too, which is a strange thing, but because my dad would never clean his glasses. And when you have glasses, you can actually wash them with soap and water under running water in the sink, and it cleans all of the dirt and debris off of them, okay? So if you are washing your glasses, you do need to dry them when you're done. You need to use a soft cloth. If you do wear glasses, you don't ever want to use paper on your glasses. Paper will scratch your lenses. I know that sounds strange, but it happens. My glasses that I've had for, I've had my lenses for over a year, which means I've cleaned those lenses at least 365 times. So when you're swiping something 365 times with something that will scratch slightly, well, over time you get lots of scratches. So it's really important that you clean your glasses with a microfiber cloth or a t-shirt or a bath towel, something soft, okay, something cloth. And that'll help the life of your glasses, which of course makes your life so much better when you can see. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is color blindness. Color blindness is genetic. It comes from a person missing cones or cones that don't function properly, all right? So you can have a number of different things contributing to color blindness. Most people that are colorblind are red-green colorblind. I think you guys can all see that we have a number down here. And if you can't, then you're probably colorblind, but you found that out in the eye lab, I believe, okay? Now, when we say that it's genetic, that means that you either inherited it from your parents or there was a genetic mutation and your cones didn't develop as normal, okay? So genetic doesn't mean that you got it necessarily from your parents, because a genetic mutation can happen anytime a cell is replicating, okay? So it really depends on where the genetic mutation is, whether or not you get it from your parents or whether or not it happened first generation. Anyway, cataracts are something else that can be a problem. If you've ever had a dog with cloudy eyes, your dog was probably old. We see cataracts in animals more often because of the fact that we try to prevent it in humans. And how do you prevent this? You can prevent this by wearing sunglasses, okay? So imagine trying to see through this cloud. You're not going to see very well. And I have had students that have told me, oh, my dad's blind because of cataracts. All right. Nowadays, they can perform surgery. When you think about that ciliary muscle holding onto the lens, I just don't even understand how it's possible. But my dad had his cornea cut, and a doctor slipped in there and removed his lens that was cloudy and then slipped an artificial lens in and then stitched his eye up. Yes, stitches in the corner of my dad's eye. And then I get the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. So my dad now has clear lenses. He doesn't have cataracts any longer. Our surgeries are getting better and better at producing a better quality of life, which again, that's what medicine is supposed to help us do, have a better quality of life, okay? So cataracts are something that you can hopefully avoid by protecting your eyes with glasses that filter out the UV radiation. So wearing sunglasses is very important. And if you do have any cloudiness, it's important to talk to your eye doctor, okay? So any of these things you might experience, you should talk to your doctor. Okay, last but not least is glaucoma. And glaucoma is a problem of the draining of the aqueous humor. Okay, so remember the aqueous humor is in front of your pupil. Here's the pupil. Okay, so that means that we have the colored part of your eye, the iris right here. The ciliary body is hanging onto the lens with those ligaments. There's the lens. Okay, and that ciliary process is going to produce the fluid that is going to come out your pupil, okay? And then that fluid collects in front of the colored part of your eye, and it is known as the aqueous humor, and it helps us maintain the shape of the cornea. Now, people with glaucoma, when that doesn't drain, they get pressure. And when that pressure builds up in the eye, it can cause damage to the retina, and glaucoma can cause blindness. So if you've ever had your eyes examined, when you go to get your eyes examined, they have you put your face up to this little thing and you look in and you see a red dot and maybe a balloon. At my eye doctor's office, I see a hot air balloon, one of those big hot air balloons, as a photograph in the back of this machine. And you stare at the hot air balloon and then all of a sudden, poof, they blow a little air at your eyeball. So if you think about like a Kleenex, hold up a Kleenex in front of your mouth and give it a little, you'll be able to see your breath in that Kleenex or in that shirt, in that napkin, in whatever it is, even in the top of a beverage, right? If you blow in the top of a beverage, you will see the wind, the air molecules push the beverage, the liquid in your cup, okay? So that little puff of air is supposed to move your cornea, and your cornea should move slightly if this is not under extreme pressure. But if you have extreme pressure under here, when the little poof of air hits your cornea, it's not gonna move, and then the doctors will be aware that you have a buildup of pressure and that you should be treated for glaucoma, okay? So those are some basic eye disorders. Those are not all of them, but those are the ones that affect people most often. So those are the ones we've covered. If you have any questions, please remember to shoot me an email, put something in the text of the classroom chat. You also know you can always reach me by text. Okay? Everyone stay well. I hope you're all